think it's Thursday, actually the day before the 4th, so 4th of July, I mean. Anyway, today's project, or at least this morning, while we're waiting for the guy to come grab the Bronco, or the Blazer, we're working on the Bronco. So here we've got the dash. Phil had marked out the holes that we need to fill in. I think he's going to get rid of these two holes, which they might not, well, that might be stock, I'm not sure. A couple of holes down here he wants to get rid of that we don't need. And then these holes here, I think he's getting rid of the heater vent running vintage air. And we'll get rid of this, and then looks like we need to weld that little hole up there. I don't know what that's for. And then we're going to hammer and dolly these here out. These are just, somebody has over tightened the window. There's a big knob that goes through here that holds this from coming back. Basically holds that window frame from falling forward. And then, well, we'll mess around with that, get that all welded up, and then we're going to mess with this grill. I see that there's a crack here, and then it looks like there's a goofy, somebody's drilled a goofy hole here. I'm not sure. We didn't get rid of these two on the last one. That's for a license plate hole. This guy's goofy enough that this guy might want that because it's all factory. And then pull these things out. So when you sandblast something, you should take all the clips out because there's going to be rust in behind here, and we want to paint this. So we pull these out, get the stuff welded up, and then we're going to drill our holes. So it's going to get these holes here for our trim. This is just an old beat up grill that I had, or Phil dropped off, so I could kind of get an idea about where our holes are going to go. So we're going to put this size hole. Looks like about a 3/16 maybe. That's probably about a 1/4 inch hole. We'll mark them out and put them through here, and then once that's done, we're going to take both of these off to the sandblaster and get them re-sandblasted. Get that re-sandblasted, get this sandblasted, and then put those into epoxy. So, but it'll be a couple days before we get them back. So that's kind of the plan, and we'll see if we can't make a little progress on this 74 Bronco.
I will not be compliant. If you push, I'm defiant. Just try it. It is bound to get violent when you walk this way.
All right, so we got that grill pretty well welded up. At least everything that Phil had marked with the Sharpie. I came back and ground that around that hole, and then we made some little patch panels, and then we took our copper spoon here. Basically, I think I got this from Harbor Freight, but basically it doesn't allow our wire to stick to it. So if you want to do a hole, you can use that as a backer and then weld it, and then you can just kind of break this loose. It doesn't really stick very well. I like the copper more than aluminum. Aluminum sometimes blows a little bit of crap out. I think the copper stays a little cleaner, but anyway, then we hammer and dolly these. These were kind of boogered up, so, and then kind of ground everything down with a hard stone and a roll lock, knock down the bottoms of that a little bit, and then that is pretty well ready to take off, head to the sandblaster. Kind of grind this out just a little bit. I want just a little bit of might take like an air saw blade or something, cut that out to where it's just a little tiny bit of a gap. Especially with a wire feed, you want your wire to go down into that gap and bridge the two. And then when you grind it flat, you've got your weld in between the two layers of metal, rather just on top. And then we'll go ahead and take these out. And then go ahead and finish cleaning the grill up, pop these out, and then go ahead and send this thing off to sandblast. Might hammer and dolly it on it a little bit. It looks like there's something. Oh, we're gonna have to make a piece here. The biggest thing would be making sure a hole is in the right spot. We'll just take a little marker right here or something and make a line so we know that it's pretty well centered, so when it goes back on the fender, that it should line up pretty well.
I won't stop until you're down in your grave with a couple of your friends to keep you company. At the moment's notice, I'll be swinging the blade, saying, look at this beautiful mess I made.
We got that all corners welded up, ground down with a little roll lock in 36. Knocked out all our little clips. You kind of see why you should remove this type of stuff when you take it to sandblast, because there's still paint and rust and stuff up underneath those, if there is rust. But You know, if you're sanding it because there's rust, that rust right there could creep up underneath there and give you problems down the road. So it's always better to strip these completely down and then have them sandblasted. This one's been sitting open for a while, and as you can kind of tell, it's got a little surface rust where people's grabbed it. So instead of doing the holes now, it is the 4th of July after all. I just came in to get a little bit of extra work done this morning that I didn't get yesterday. So both of these here are ready for the sandblaster, and we're gonna haul those off come Monday.
When the enemy is at your door, you better hold that line. When you find out what they're looking for, you better roll the dice.
So hung those up, got everything welded up, smoothed these out, hung them up, and then sprayed a couple coats of our epoxy primer on those. So get those over in the corner and let those dry, and then move on to probably trying to finish up some of the work in the engine compartment. We got it primered, our spot, so we'll just go back 320, 400, all that stuff out, grind these down. Oh, I guess I ground this down. Knock out the filler and try to get that thing prepped and hopefully get that thing painted here in the next day or two. So plan, we're gonna keep working on the engine compartment. It's hot as heck in here. Actually hosed the whole floor down, and now it's just like super humid in here. Just got the booth running. I got this all taped up. Hopefully all the overspray will just kind of go right out there. Oh, I'll probably move that. I'm gonna end up sealing this. I got it all taped up, tacked down, wax and grease removed, and then tacked down. I mixed up some of our primer sealer. We're gonna put a primer sealer on that for a couple reasons. One, if there's any busted through areas like a little filler spot or something, it's going to primer that and help seal it. And it's same with any of our seam sealer, and also it's going to cover in any like the 320 scratches or anything that we've got aggressive. Hopefully that if we miss anything, it'll get those scratches, and also it's going to turn everything a light gray color. So when we go back over it with our light green, we're going light color over light color. The primer sealer covers a heck of a lot better than the base, and it's about half the price. So we're kind of killing a few birds with one stone there, I guess you could say. So I got that mixed up. I'm gonna put a respirator on. I might suit up, I might not. I'm gonna do a couple coats and just see how nasty and sweaty. Actually, I'm gonna put a suit on. And then I'm gonna put a coat of primer sealer on that and flash for about 30 minutes, and we'll put a couple coats of base on it. Alright, got that all cleared. I do see a little dryness right in here, but the hood goes there, so I think that would be okay. Did get a little sagger right there, and it's a little too tacky to nub it, so I got a little sagger right back on the wheel well there, but I kind of nicked the head of it a little bit. So hopefully, if it looks too bad, we'll nub it out. Oh, that's not the battery side. Yeah, I might have to do it on that side. It was down here. I'd say no big deal is a battery tray and stuff that sits there, but that little black spot right there is on top of that. Got it all seam sealed, taped up, based, sealed, based, and then put our Glauser 109 on it. So stinks. I'm gonna jump in the office. I'm gonna let the fans run. They've been running, just kind of like let this place gas out a little bit and kind of let that air out a little bit. So I got my little fan here, just kind of blowing some air that way. And obviously we got the back door open. Our doors are cracked, so we can get a little bit of a cross draft and help pull some of those gases up out of that paint. So that stinks. I'm gonna call this video done here. If you like this type of stuff, give me a like, a subscribe, comment below. Tune in for the next episode on this Bronco, and remember, you got there, create something, even if it sucks. Peace.